Hi, it's T with Teaquilts, and today is Wednesday, April 17th. It is 6:57 p.m. So if you're watching this at any other time, just know that you are watching an recording of the uploaded live chat. So let me get this on my phone. So we've got a few minutes to wait for people to get in. I see I have 7 in so far. So I hope you all have been having a great week. I am tired. I've been doing a whole lot though. I'm tired but like satisfied with all the things that I've been doing. So So we'll give everybody a chance to get in up to 7 p.m. and then I'll start with the roll call. It's kind of dark over here. Give it a little bit more light. So thank you all so much for spending your Wednesday evenings with me. So we still got a couple of minutes. I tried to come in a couple of minutes earlier this time instead of just like 1 or 2 minutes before. I think I made it in about 4 minutes before this time. So we have a longer time to wait. But I see when I come to log in, I see that some of you all are already waiting for me. So I really appreciate that. So we've been on a couple of minutes now. We're about a few seconds now before 7. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. We've got Cheryl Lynn. She says hello. She was, I'm assuming, here first. So welcome, Cheryl. Thank you so much for waiting. We got Christine here. She says hi, T and T Quilters. Yes, welcome to all you T Quilters. Susan Glenn says hi, y'all, from Cincinnati. Hi, Susan. We've got June Hansen here. She says good evening, T and everyone. I saw June over on the Facebook T Quilt site. Shrivia Henderson says hi, everyone from Ohio. Hi, welcome. We've got Linda Price here. She says hello to everyone. Hi, Linda. Liz Ryan is here. Says hello, everyone from New Orleans. Hi, Liz. Welcome. Melinda Carroll is here. She says hi, T and everyone. Hi, Melinda. We've got Catherine Hall. She says hi. I don't remember seeing that name before. Welcome to the live chat, Catherine. Let's see. My phone is telling me that I have guild meeting tomorrow, which we do not. We changed it this month. We've got Winfred Baptiste is here. She says, good night, Quilt family from Trinidad. Hi, Lenora. How are you? Darlene Farmer is here. Says, greetings from Northern Virginia. Hi, Darlene. Mary Smith is here. She says, hi, T and everyone from Brooklyn. Hi, Brooklyn in the house. And Winfred says that her time is 7:59 p.m. So she's 1 minute ahead of us. I mean, one hour ahead of us in the Midwest, in the Central Time Zone. Honor is here. She says hello from Ohio. Honor Safar. Catherine says that she's from Arizona. Cynthia Shade says hello from Chicago. And I think I have visited, well, of course I haven't been to Trinidad, but I haven't been to Arizona. I have a friend that lives in Arizona. I need to go visit her. She moved there about 3 years ago. Me and her were co-Girl Scout leaders. And she is a teacher in Phoenix. So that'd be really cool. I need to visit her so I can knocked Arizona off of my state to visit. We've got Helen Thomas here. And we also got Elsie886. Elsie. Hi, Elsie. And Catherine says, stop by then. We got Mila Killabue. She says hello from Tennessee. And we have 28 people in the chat room. Oh, she's in Sierra Vista. Okay. All right. So if I make a trip anywhere, I will let you all know. Helen says that she's in San Antonio. Hello from all from San Antonio. And we've got Janet Mackerel. She says hello from Oklahoma. Christine says, T, your pink shirt looks great on you. I just made this shirt like an hour ago. I got tired of wearing my other shirt, so I said I need another shirt. So I decided to make this and just put it on. So I'll be taking this shirt to AQS just to switch up my wardrobe a little bit. Give me a different design. So thank you, Christine. That's it. What I've done in the past week. I've done a lot, but I can't even remember everything that I've done. Isn't that weird? I've been, I knew that I had a busy week this week, so I did a lot of prep work last week. I'm also working on, I don't know if I ever told you all this, but I'm working on making crumb blocks with my small quilt guild, the one where we meet in each other's homes. It's 6 of us, and so each month we are making 6 crumb blocks that we are swapping with each other. And then I'm deciding to make mine all a different theme or style so that I know I'm using different fabrics. So I've been working on those, and I got all of my blocks done. We're supposed to do it from January through June, and then in June decide if we want to continue through the rest of the year. So I have my blocks now all done up till June. Let's see. Last time I was talking, I told you all I was still working on branding stuff. And I forgot to show you that I did a book with my t-shirts on them so that I could show people in a book what I'm working on. Sometimes Shutterfly or one of those type companies, because there's a lot of them out there, will have discounts where you can get a book for like $10 or something, and it's a lot cheaper than me printing from my own ink. So then I just pay for the book, say $10, and then shipping. So long as it's under 20 bucks, I feel like it's a great deal. So it's almost like I've got a t-shirt catalog. And then I even added in some blank pages for those of you that might want to do that. I added like 2 blank pages, and I'm going to scrapbook on the cover any future designs that I come up with. So you do have to pay if you go over your level, your max level. So, and I even put some t-shirt quilts that I've made for customers in here as well, because I have people always asking about those as well. So I just made a little quick Teaquilts catalog, sort of, kind of. A great thing that happened to me today. Oh, I'll share that. Hold on. I forgot the last marketing thing that I did was that I ordered some writing pens with Teaquilts on it. I've had these before, but I ran out, and so I updated to a different style, and then it also has the stylus on it, so it makes it dual purpose. It's an ink pen as well as a stylus. So I normally give those out when I'm going to lectures and people actually purchase something from me. I normally give them a pen for free for making a purchase. Let's see. Back here, you can kind of see some fabric on my long arm. Like right there. That is something that I just took one of those fat quarters that I got from Connecting Threads, and I just pressed them. I'm hoping that I will be able to start recording a video, which is going to take me a while to finish, because I'm going to try to do a start to finish video, but I really don't have time to sew right now. But I thought that I would at least do the cutting. What else? I made my mom a Mother's Day shirt. This is a stock design that you can get where you can put the name of the children coming through here. So I made one for myself, but I made one for my mom that I already gave to her. And it has all 8 children on it. So it's a lot of kids on that shirt. A lot of children names. What else have I been working on? I got a project my cousin wants me to work on for her. She needs a rainbow quilt. So I pulled a background fabric, and I'm gonna make them in crazy crumb blocks in color prints for the rainbow. So I need to contact her. I'll do that tomorrow and make sure that she really wants me to make this, because she's gonna have to pay something for it. And so I want to make sure before I start that she really wants it before I go into all of that work. And then the great thing that happened to me today is that I was on Linda's Electric Quilters YouTube channel. They were live today, and they were showing the Hoffman Dream Big leaf panels. They got new panels out for the leaf. Before they had the flower. And I won the prize for being an online viewer today. So they're going to send me one of the leaf panels. So they already got it in the mail, but they didn't tell me which one that they're going to send me. They actually have 6 different kinds that are out right now. So that was a fun thing to have. I never win drawings or anything like that. So that was pretty cool. So let me go back and check who else has come in. We got Leetta Bryan. Hi, Leetta. She says, hi, T and everyone. Got Sonia Jones here. She says, hello. Hi, Sonia. Eric is here. I missed that. Eric Oda is here. He says, hello. Hello, hey. Mary Smith says, how was the long arm class? Let me just back up on the long arm class. I do have where I went live on Monday night. I was in West Plains, Missouri at Gamble, one of Gamble's headquarters. They also have one in Columbia, Missouri as well. And they had, they're embarking on touring the U.S. and they are doing quilting with confidence. So they're going to be doing long arm training. You do not have to have a Gamble machine to go to this training. And it's not really geared towards a Gamble machine. You will be sewing on Gambles, of course. But the training is not geared towards Gamble machines. It's actually geared towards learning how to manipulate and produce the various quilt designs that are out, and then they try to teach you how to combine some of those when you are putting them into your quilts. They even got sessions which we did not get on basic maintenance, how to make sure that you don't have downtime on your long arm. So they teach you some of the real basic things that you can do to your machine so that you can keep it working. Like if one of your control handles go out or something, they show you how to replace that kind of stuff. I already took a maintenance class locally, so I think I can handle like the easy stuff. It would be the more complicated stuff that I would have to call somebody to come in or take my machine in. I'm not ever going to take my machine off, so I would be having somebody come to my house to fix it. But I really enjoyed the class, and the thing that was really nice is that they contacted, I don't know how they picked these Missouri quilters, but they picked quilters around the state of Missouri, and they offered us free pilot training, although we had to pay for our hotel and our travel. But the actual class expense we did not have to pay for. So I thought that was really cool. The only thing that I was disappointed in for myself is that I had a lecture on Tuesday, so I could not do the second day of the training. So I did not attend all of the training that they provided. But what I did receive was very good. I think the program is going to be very well organized. They wanted our true opinions on the survey forms, and that's why they did this pilot, so that they could get some feedback, and they wanted honest feedback. And of course, I gave them my honest feedback. It wasn't anything majorly that they didn't do, and I'm thinking maybe some of the things that I put on my feedback were because we were in a pilot class, and maybe it's going to be different when they go live in May. So I'm not going to tell you what my thoughts are on the training, other than I feel like it's very well worth the money if you are able to attend. They're going to be going to all kind of major cities in the area, so there should be something that's close to you where you should be traveling like 5 hours or less to attend one of these trainings if you have a long arm and are interested in learning more about how to use it, how to gain confidence with it. That's why it's called Quilting with Confidence. So they're trying to teach you how to take control of your long arm. They're trying to teach you how to keep your long arm up and running. They're trying to show you how and when to use certain designs in quilts. So I think it's very well worth the money. And they also have ruler work included in there as well. So you'll learn a lot. So let me go back. So Kathy Verge is here. She says, hello everyone from Ontario, Canada. Either Verge or Virgie, I'm not sure. And everybody wants to know now, where is Diane? Uh-oh. Mary Smith says congrats. Eric says congrats. What are you gonna do with the panel? It's one of those things that you do the free motion long arm quilting over. So from the long arm class, I find my main problem is that I don't quilt enough, okay? And the main thing that they're trying to promote is practice, practice, practice. And they're saying if you look at quilting in the form of like somebody that's a professional athlete, like a golfer, they're practicing 5 to 6, 8 hours a day. And so if you think about how come you're not comfortable with your long arm, it's because you're not using it. And so I guess that's something that I need to do. It's not that I'm not comfortable with mine. I am comfortable with it. But there are certain designs that I would like to execute a lot better. And I'm not doing that. So thank you everybody for the congrats on winning. Trisha is here from South Carolina. Welcome, Trisha. And Helen Thomas says that rainbow quilt sounds interesting. I Googled rainbow quilts, and there are a lot of different designs that came up. And I just decided to pick this. It looks like nothing. Let me see if I can find a different picture. Because this just looks like nothing. And you can see where I'm already writing on it because I'm going to change a lot of the measurements. But let me go to my messenger because I sent this to my cousin. I sent her a picture of the actual quilt. So this is actually the quilt here, and I know I've got glare, but I'm going to extend these things out because I feel like it's too much background. So that's what I'm actually going to do, and I will probably make it a lot wider as well. Go back into chat. I'm trying to go back to where I left off. My screen rolls whenever I go in and out. Paulette Lee is here. Hi, Paulette. Welcome. She says, hello, T and everyone. Diane 57 is here. Yay. We were asking about you. She says, hi, T and friends. Kathy says, by the way, thanks to Kevin the Quilter for following up on my corporate question. Great idea. I thank you so much, because I'm glad you said that, because I had to, when I met with him, I asked him to go look in the comment section at least once and answer any questions that were there, because it was already a week later. So thank you all so much for the comments on his video. Kevin is busier than I am. And Eric says, like Gloria Gaynor, I survived. Well, tax season, that is. Jennifer Morris is here from Locust Grove, Georgia. Welcome, Jennifer, to the live chat. I don't remember you being here before, but appreciate you stopping in. PWAS, which is, did she ever, I can't remember if PWA said the name. I can't remember. Trisha, sorry. Trisha. I gotta go back and scroll back now. Do you think you will ever go to robotics? Eventually, yes. And the only reason is because I'm so busy, and it's that while I'm doing desk work, I could be having this machine behind me running. So eventually, yes, I'm in the process of actually looking. I'm not in a hurry to get robotics because I don't really quilt for anyone but myself and a few customers that mostly use Panto. So eventually, yes. Don't know when yet. Loretta says, hi, all from Ohio. Hi, Loretta. Trivia said, glad you made it through tax season. She's talking to Eric. Sharon Martin is here. Hi, Sharon. She says, hi, guys, with lots of hearts. Eric says, I ain't got time to practice 8 hours. Exactly. When they were saying that, I'm looking at them like, who has that kind of time? I guess those are my 8 hours of sleep. Sharon says 39 people in here and only 11 likes. Thumbs up, everyone. Thank you, Sharon. Got 20 thumbs up from me now, I see. Thank you for that. You helped. So we've got 48 people in the house. Peggy O'Connor is here. Hi, Peggy. Peggy is also one of my local quilters in my local quilt guild and my local scrap quilting club. Jennifer says, this is my first live chat. I met you here in McDonough, Georgia at a Scarlet Thread Quilt Shop. Yes, you did. It was so funny. I walked 2 steps in the door and she turns around. She's at the cutting table, which is in the center of the room, and she goes, I know you. I know you from somewhere. Let me think. Where do I know you from? And she asked me if I lived there. I said no. And she goes, oh, then you're Teaquilts. And I'm like, oh my gosh. That was pretty funny. So thank you so much for chatting with me. I appreciate that. I did put your picture in the video, but I couldn't remember your name. My brother is here. Hey sis, how's everyone? He's asking you all, how's everyone? Trish is talking to Eric, and she says she's telling Eric that sure is that the who has time to practice, I guess. And then she says, and the hardware and software is consistently changing and needing updates. And my philosophy is that I think quilts need the hands-on quilting, just my opinion. And Kevin the quilter is here. Hi, friend T. Hey, Kevin, I was just thinking about you today. I saw you had liked a few of my posts in my Facebook group, and I started to call you. I still need to talk to you about something, but it's not critical, but I still need to talk to you. And Peggy says that's a great story about the quilt shop. It's funny. So yeah, so I don't really have an agenda today. I've kind of talked about all the stuff that I had going on in my life. If you all got any questions, please feel free to ask them, especially beginner quilters, because you got 46 people in here that can help you with it. It's not just my opinion. I'm trying to think, was there anything else I needed to share? And June says, Eric, I can't afford it either. I'm still working on practicing all the time. Let me see. Can't do in 8 hours either. I wouldn't get anything else done. Exactly. That's like a professional job, practicing this long arm quilting. But I guess if you're going to go in business to quilt for others, it is a business. Um, Regarding um, having robotics over not having robotics, I do prefer to have quilts that are hand quilted, but I can understand that there's a place and time for everything. So I think they're both great. I just don't like when people will show you a quilt at show and tell, and then they won't tell you that it's all robotics over somebody that did all the same kind of work by hand. I think you need to tell people when how you quilt your quilts when you're doing show and tell, or if somebody else quilts your quilts. I think you need to tell that somebody else quilted your quilt, because you should be giving those people credit for doing the work, because quilting is a hard job. Not to say that piecing isn't, but quilting is a hard job. If you don't quilt the quilt, then it's not a quilt. It's just a piece top. Trisha said it was. She's too old. It will wear her out to quilt that much. Eric says, unless you are quilting for others or doing it as a business, it doesn't make sense to purchase robotics. It makes sense for me for my time though, because I have to have time to piece. I got to have time to make videos, edit videos, do computer work. I get so many emails a day, it's ridiculous. And then I still got a china cabinet over on the other side that's filled with quilt tops that are never going to get quilted at the rate I'm going. And I try to not show a whole lot of quilt tops when I do my lectures. I will throw maybe 2 to 5 of them in if it's absolutely necessary. But that's how I rotate quilts into my lectures, is that I add in completed quilts and take out something else. Darlene says, I do too. I always give credit to my long armor on the quilt. Thank you for that. Peggy says, quilting is hard. Yes, give credit to the quilter or robot. Exactly. Kevin the quilter said, we should always give credit where credit is due. And honesty is the best policy, laughing out loud. So we got Shakita Pearson is here. She's from Georgia. Diane says, if you're making it your job, you need to assign your hours to work quilting. I would love to have all the bells and whistles if it were a business. And Tricia says, I agree, T. I understand why robotics are important, especially for longer businesses. I am only for a few friends, and they want their quilts done by hand. Most are past hand quilters. And I have had a lot of people asking me about custom quilting, and I've decided that I'm not ever custom quilting for anybody. It just takes way too long, and I don't feel like if you were charging per the hour that you would get paid, unless you've got a customer that don't mind paying a whole lot of money to get their quilt quilted. But custom quilting can be time consuming, especially if it's like a sampler quilt where you've got a lot of different type of blocks, like a lot of different styles. You've got piece, applique, mixed all into one. So when you have applique, you don't normally go over the top. Eric says, I can do edge-to-edge designs pretty quickly, but when it comes to custom stuff, it takes forever. Exactly. And I do some pantos on my quilts because I like what's on the panto, that I know I can't do it consistently by hand. And then I do other designs on my quilts by hand. I can do a lot by hand, but sometimes I want it to be consistent because of what I'm going to do with it. And especially since I'm showing it in a lecture or hanging it in a quilt show, I might do something a little different. So, Darlene says, I think that hand quilting and machine quilting should be judged separately. Yes, and we've had that as a controversial issue in our quilt show, and we have finally made it where we judge quilts that are machine quilted or hand quilted. And then the last show, we even had people that were saying, even if you or they even have machine quilted on a regular machine or machine quilted on a long arm. And now we're even to the point this year, I think we voted last time, but I'm not sure if it's been implemented, that if we have long arm machine quilting that's like a panto or machine or hand guided, they were talking about going even further. So because each one of them takes a different skill set, so I'm not sure where they are with that. And Sharon says, I love to have a quilting machine like Donna has. Set it and forget it. Okay. Shakita says, I give credit to my long armer because I don't enjoy. Hold on, it jumped on me. I don't enjoy that part of the quilt making process. And I noticed when I started quilting that while I can quilt, and I did a lot of machine quilting on my domestic machine to finish my quilts, quilting is not my fun part. My fun part is piecing. I love to piece stuff. I'm a technique junkie, so if it's a new technique out, I really love to jump in and try that. So yes, I agree with you on that. It's not my favorite part. And binding, I just hate it on a bed-size quilt. I hate binding. We got Jennifer says, I agree, professionals should have their tops quilted before sharing at show and tell. It's our calling card. Winfrey says, how do you price for custom quilting? It just depends on, like, some people would do a semi-custom price. Some people just do a straight price for custom. You see, there's different types of custom quilting. Say you've got a quilt top and all of your blocks are, say, crazy blocks. And then, but you've got sashing in between, and you want something different in your crazy blocks, and you want something different in your sashing. So that's called semi-custom. So some people might charge you a medium price, like say 2.5 cents, 3 cents per square inch. And then if you do a full custom, like if it's a sampler quilt and you've got different things going on all over the quilt, or you've got a modern quilt where you've got a lot of background open space that you want different things quilted in, then they would call that custom quilting and could go 5 cents per square inch. And I can't really tell you a price because that's based on your area as well. If you are in a rural area, maybe quilting prices are cheaper. And if you're more in a city, big area, prices might be more. So it just depends. And it goes from state to state as well. It just depends on your area. That's why if you're going to get into the long arm business, you probably need to see what the going rate is. Because if you're in an area where people will do a panto for $50, maybe long arm quilting is not for you, because there's no way that I would do a panto for somebody for $50. It's too much work. So it just depends. Trisha says, my last post was misleading. I have a long arm, but my friends want hand guided and not machine driven. She's just clarifying. Bonita Nance is here. She says, hello, everyone. Hi, Bonita. Welcome. Binding. He goes, ooh, the other B. That's from Eric. But then again, if you're at the point of binding, that means you're almost done. So that's how I get through it. That's true. But I still have the quilt that was on this long arm, my sampler, my solstice challenge. Yeah, it's not bound yet. I still got 2 sides to do, and I've taken it out of town twice to get some binding done, and it's still not done. Didn't do 1 stitch. And Sharon agrees that yes, binding is the worst part. I've machine sewn the last couple of bindings I've done, or they never get done. That's true. And I still have those 2 charity quilts that I quilted that need binding that I'm going to do by machine. I need to do those, but I've been using those in my last 2 lectures, so that's why they were not finished. I just got them quilted so that I could show them and talk about my charity project. Diane 57 says, I like binding for that same reason, Eric. Darlene says, I recently looked at an embroidery sewing baby lock, cost $20,000. Yes, Lord. I went into the car dealership because I wanted to get my car just some basic stuff done before I went on the highway. And I looked at a car, they want $50,000 for an SUV. It's a 6-seater, but I'm like, oh my God, it's been a long time since I bought a new car. Everything is expensive. But I do think $20,000 for an embroidery machine is ridiculous. I will go on the record and say that. And Eric is asking what kind of machine was that. It probably was the Destiny 2 probably. Paulette says, I love binding. It makes me feel happy that I'm finally done. That's nice. You all got a different understanding of it. That's great. And Darlene said, that's a down payment for a house. You are absolutely correct. And then Eric says, Destiny, destined to go broke. Exactly. I just don't understand. I really think that we are the reason why some of the stuff is as expensive as it is. Because there are a few quilters, and when I say few, it's quite a few of them that will buy stuff no matter what it costs. And I know somebody that had the one that I have, the Elissimo, and went and bought the Destiny. Everybody is upgrading and going to the new machine. So if people are constantly buying them, they're going to keep putting them out there at that price. I can't believe that it costs that much money to make one machine. Just think about your sewing machine being a computer, which it is. And when computers first came out, computers were very costly, and only the rich had them until they got the software and the stuff down packed. And now everybody can afford it. The same thing with the microwaves. At one point, your generic households could not even afford to have a microwave. So why are sewing machines going higher and higher when it's the same technology? It's still a software program that's running that machine. And I do know that they've got different features and all of that, but something needs to give. I just think $20,000 for a sewing machine is ridiculous. Darlene says she laughed in her face. She said it was an adventurer. She believed it was. But when I bought my Elissimo, I was promised that one of what they do is they have like these classes where you go in and it's like an embroidery event where you have a 2-day event, and then they have you make all of this different stuff on the embroidery machine. And in that, they do all the sales pitches for all the stuff that goes with the machine. You know, all the attachments, all the different software. So they'll have, say if it's sponsored by Anita Good Design, then they'll use all of Anita Good Design's product, and they're pushing all of those designs and stuff in the middle. So it's like a sales pitch. And you know, they told us in that class when we bought the Elissimos, well, I didn't buy my Elissimo that day. I got my Elissimo years later. But they told us that the Elissimo would be the last sewing machine that we would ever have to buy, because since it was a computer, we could just pay for upgrades, and then we would be able to, that machine would be able to do any and everything that we needed it to do. And I think they got to 3 upgrades on the Elissimo, maybe 5 years in, and then they came out with the Elissimo 2. And when they did that, I decided I wasn't buying another computerized sewing machine and when this one died, until I didn't have one that would work. So if I need an embroidery machine, I would buy one, and I'll buy a basic model embroidery machine. But I'm not spending that kind of money on a machine anymore, because they're going to keep doing it as long as we keep buying them. And Kevin the quilter, he says this old man uses old machines and no software needed. And exactly, if you haven't seen Quilt Studio on tour, where I did Kevin's workspace, I showed you at least 3 machines, and we didn't show you some machines that were put up, but you saw at least 3 machines, and all of his machines are old machines, heavy metal machines that he don't have any problems with, very basic. And that's what he sew and quilts on when he quilts his own quilts. So I agree. I'm not doing it anymore. Eric talking about preacher T. I'm sure it's a lot of companies that are not going to sponsor me because I am too honest. But I will tell you when a product is good. You know, I just don't think that I would want to encourage somebody to go out and buy a $20,000 sewing machine. I wouldn't do it myself, so no. And Eric says, no, Trisha, I missed one, I think. Says, I agree, T. It's because people are never satisfied. Exactly. And I see it even on some of my YouTube channels that I watch. I see where people will come out with a new machine and they're not sponsored. Some of my YouTubers are not even they're not even signed up with YouTube to get paid. So they're just on YouTube because they like to share, like to sew. And so I kind of watch those kind of quilters. And a lot of them will get new sewing machines when they come out, and they might even have a sewing machine over here, a sewing machine at a summer home or somewhere else. So they've got top of the line everything, and I just can't do it. I can't do it. Eric says that's more than a long arm with the frame. Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm like, if I'm gonna buy, if I got a basic piecing machine and I need another sewing machine, I would definitely get a long arm if I'm gonna spend that kind of money, because now I can quilt my own quilts and you don't have to pay somebody else to quilt your quilts. And that was the reason why I actually purchased my long arm, is because I have over 50 quilt tops that needed to be quilted. And my style of quilting that I want in my quilts, my quilters in this area was charging me in the area of $200 to $300 per quilt to get them quilted. They're beautiful. That's what I wanted, and that's what I paid for. And then I just sat down and counted up all of my quilts one day, and I said, you know what? I just need to save my money. And so I did that, and I stopped sending quilts out. And now it's like you just quilt your own quilts. It's a lot of money. Diane says, I'm with you too. People need to stop paying for these machines. Darlene says, I saw another machine for $16,000. Eric is asking Darlene, where is she shopping, where she's seeing all these expensive machines? They in every quilt shop in the St. Louis area. You don't have to go far here. Christine says, Kevin, your studio space is awesome, and I love the machines. Thanks for sharing with us. And I think Shakita is still here. She had a question about what was on your on your Spartan sewing machine, and I think that was just that that tray. I did put it in the comment of one of the comments. Somebody else asked about that as well. I thought I did, or maybe it was in the live premiere, maybe. Trivia says sewing machines are like cell phone. A new one always comes out. Exactly. We got Judy Smith joining. She say, hi everyone, late joining tonight. Again, if you are quilting and you've got any quilt related questions, please go ahead and drop them into the chat box so that I can quit preaching. Francine is here. She says, hello, everyone. I missed my notification. Good to be with the chat. I agree with you, T. As long as people are buying, the machines will be selling. Linda DeVito says, hi, T and everyone. Welcome from Rockaway, New Jersey. Hi, Linda. Welcome. Darlene says, look, I own 4 machines, one being a brother from Costco. I love that crazy machine. Francine says, I love to have the new brother combo because of Disney. Sharon's telling Darlene that she has that Costco brother machine too. Not my favorite, but a pretty decent one for under $200. Eric says, I think that Costco brother machine works better than some of the $1,000 machines. Kevin says it's a 3-in-1 portable extension table, Shakita. I just couldn't remember the name of it. But I do have one on the shelf. I used to use it all the time on my other singers. I need to pull it back out when I saw that he had it on his old machines. Trisha said, I did the exact same thing, T. That is the reason I bought my long arm. I was not physically able to quilt my big quilts on my domestic machine anymore. I just got tired of it. I was wrestling those big queen quilts because at one point I didn't even make small quilts. I've been trying to make myself make small quilts sometimes, especially for my lectures, because I like to take a lot of quilts. And so if they're smaller, then it's not as much weight that I'm carrying. We've got Ann Anderson here. Hi, Ann. Welcome to the chat. Hello, everyone. When is your next retreat? My next retreat is in May, Memorial Day weekend. We're getting ready for it now. Thank you for the question, Ann. Bonita says, at the quilt shows, do they give good discounts? At the quilt shows, they you'll get a discount and then you're going to encounter a problem. They'll give you a discount, but it's still, if it's a $20,000 machine, you may get $1,000 somewhere around there off on that machine. Or what they may do is throw in a service plan, like they call them a gold plan with baby lock. So they may throw in a service plan for free, and it'll go for like 3 years or something like that. Well, I figure if I'm paying $20,000 for something in 3 years, it shouldn't break. I shouldn't need anything done. But the problem with that is when you get home, they'll tell you at the show, and I know this because I had one of my best friends buy one at a show because of the gold plan. And then when you get home, your local shops do not want to give you training, nor do they want to honor that plan. And the only thing that saved my friend was that Tacony, who owns Baby Lock, is in the St. Louis area. And she had to actually take her machine to Tacony to get her machine worked on. And Tacony don't really want to do that because they got all the dealers out here doing that. So you just need to be careful with that. What I have found is if you go to a quilt show and they have some kind of a special, your local shops will mostly honor that special, so you can check with them before you go and see if they will honor any show specials that you come back with. And if you come back with a show special, then your local shops, most of them will honor that, and you can still get that special and you get the service. So I don't recommend buying a big machine at a show. And that's one thing about Gamble. When Gamble is at a show, and I don't know how many of your other major manufacturers do this, so you can check with them. But when Gamble goes out to quilt shows, they are not selling the machines. They will get you the machine, and then they will hook you up with whoever is your distributor in your area. So that distributor is getting credit for selling you that machine, and they're the ones that are going to process your order and know when and where and how your machine is going to be delivered. They're going to be the ones that are going to provide you with some training. So ask the questions, people. And Diane says that she don't send her tops out to be quilted. I do it on my Horizon 8900. I pay less than half price for it. Got it because of the 11-inch throat. Yes, and it is exact. There are a lot of basic, just straight stitch machines that have larger throats for you to quilt your own machines. They were starting to come out when I started thinking about getting the long arm. Shakita says, T, you have one of everything. I told you I'm a gadget junkie. It's like it's a lot of new stuff out now that I don't have because I haven't been like paying a whole lot of attention. So it's a whole lot of stuff out I don't have. Sharon says, I can't seem to make a quilt less than twin size. Most are queen size. Exactly. I'm with you, Sharon. Jolene says, I live in a townhouse, not a lot of space, and I have a cat running around sitting on my tops. I tend to make twin size quilts. I make twin size quilts when I'm giving them away for charity or like my family members or as gifts. That's the size I like to make. Diane said, Janome gives great customer service. Mine gets a free checkup every year. A free checkup? Woo! Eric says, cats on a long arm, not a good idea. I nearly stitched a cat literally to a quilt once. I don't know why they get up there when it's making all that noise. And I see some of the YouTubers while they're even piecing, the cats come in from the other side of the arm. It's amazing. And Darlene said, that's why I purchased a Juki for quilting. Liz says, I love my Janome HMC 8200. I always love Janome. I made a queen quilt with it. And then June says, we're getting to the bottom. We're at 7:48. So if you still got any quilt related questions, please drop them in the chat box. You don't want me to go back to preaching. My cat is like my mid-arm. My cat liked my mid-arm, but he has found out that it is not allowed. Kathy says, I just bought my long arm from a lady who was upgrading hers and got a great deal. And that's another great way of getting it. I wish that we don't have that happen too much in the St. Louis area where there's one available for sale. The most of the ones that I had were the classic Gamels, which are great machines, but they don't have any of like the stitch regulation and stuff like that on it. But so that's why I didn't get a used one. Sharon says she loves her Juki. Eric says, I guess one thing about living in LA is we have a fashion fabric district. You can get machines at very reasonable prices and pretty much every line of fabric. Well, that's pretty cool. And I'm blocking the name now. Let me go back through here. I'll think about it. Darlene says, I wish I would pay $20,000 for a machine during one of my menopause moments. Not. I've been saying so many names, and now I want to call Shakita, and it's not Shakita who I'm interested in right now. It is from Anaheim, California. She gonna kill me. I'm blocking her name. I'm going back through trying to find it. I am so bad. I'm bad with names. I used to be really good with names until I went to Webster University and started taking 2 8-week courses at a time. Blew my mind. I'll think of it later, I guess. I can't find it in the... It's Claudette. Claudette, are you still here? Gosh. Go back to the bottom now. Deborah Lovelace is here. She says, I made it Just got home from church. I have a Kenmore made by Janome. It's it quilts small items just fine. Baby quilt runners are twin size. I still love my Kenmore. Just the reverse button broke on it that irritates me because every once in a while I need to hit reverse on something. Claudette's not here. I have to email her. I want to know about that African American quilt show that's in the LA area, that's close to the one of those big fabric stores in the area, and I want to know when it is. If anybody knows that in California, let me know. I got a friend. I'm trying to find somebody that I can come to California with because I want to go to that quilt show and I also want to go to that fabric store. Let's see. Francine says she lives in South LA. All right, Kevin, we can do this. That'll be even better. Because I am so interested in trying to get to a show in LA, and I want to go to one of the, they said they got big fabric stores with great prices. I want to see it for myself. And if they let me, I'll be trying to videotape some of it too. So, let's see. Shufia says, I'm working on a photo quilt for my put pictures on the fabric. I don't know what you're asking, how to put pictures on the fabric. I tend to use like Timeless Treasures sheets that you can get at Joann's. You can use your coupon, and I just print them through on my inkjet printer. That works fine for me. I've washed quilts with it before, and it stays in. Just make sure you heat set. I'm hoping that I didn't miss anybody. Francie says, I'm in Cucamonga, and nowadays I rarely make it to LA. Sharon says, I'm on my way to getting a 20K machines is if I'm winning one, and that we all know that's never going to happen. Exactly, for me too. Sharon says, well, probably, no. Darlene says that Sharon will probably chat with you as I work on my Juki. We're Juki girls. And then Francine says, too much traffic in LA. I do understand that, but from what I understand, I don't have to do a whole lot if I fly in to LA. That stuff is pretty close. I don't know. We'll find out. I gotta go to California at some point in my life. I gotta hit it as one of the 50 states. He says that the Eric says that the African American quilt show is usually in Carson, nearby me. Woo! Party, party! I bring Kevin. Yes, Lord. I'm ready. I just want to know what time of year is that show because I need to plan it so I get my money ready. T, take it to a Janome dealer. They should be able to fix you up with that Kenmore. It's an old Kenmore. Oh, you talking about for them to fix it? Okay, I'll try that because it's one of those. It has decorative stitches, but it's got like one of those manual turn knobs. But I went online trying to see if I could find anybody that had the part, and I couldn't find it, but I didn't go to Janome. I would do that. Thanks, Darlene. I mean, Diane. Sorry. Thanks, Diane. Fabric store, I'm assuming, is M&L Fabrics, $2.98 a yard. Can't beat that. I wish I had anything around here at $2.98 a yard. We don't get that on the clearance tables, okay? Bonita says, I'll send you a check so I can get in on the California trip. Don't you send me a check, but if we go to California, I will send you an email and let you know so you can join the party. But don't send me a check because I need to know when. And I want to come this year if it's in November. I thought it was in November, but I could be dreaming that up. But then if I go to that in November, I will not be going to Houston in November. Francine says, fly into Ontario, and you're right at the convention center where Road to California is. Well, that's pretty cool, too. And Eric talking about just bring pound cake tea. Why would I bring pound cake, Eric? He ate almost the entire pound cake. And Sharon's telling everybody party at Eric's. Diane says, I wish I could go, but Pappy would not like me being that far from him. And Shakita is saying ATL traffic too. Yes, I've been to Atlanta many times, and the traffic there is bad as well. Traffic is bad in Chicago. I've been there quite a few times. You can be in a very good mood and driving in Chicago, and they'll just change your whole disposition. So that is it for chat. I don't have any more questions or comments at the bottom. Kevin talking to Eric, talking about 2 roosters and a hen. Ooh. I can see you trying to take them on the plane, too. Okay, Elsie, thank you for looking for me, and I'll try to get with Claudette, because if I thought Claudette was affiliated with a guild member, or she's a guild member. I thought it was a show where like various different guilds came together and had this show, but I could be confusing it with the one that's in Georgia. Also, Shakita, if you know of, is there a quilt show in Georgia that a lot of guilds get together and have a big show in the ATL area? Let me know about that one too. Sharon says, we just get the magical school bus and pick everyone up on the way to California. Yes, indeed. It'd have to be magical because you know we got our stuff, too. We'll let Kevin bring the featherweight, and then we can all just buy fabric pieces and just start piecing stuff when we get there. I know the Houston show was in November, but I've been to the Houston show twice. It's not that I don't want to go back again. I will go back again, but I would like to hit a new state that I have never been to California, so I would like to go to California. Deborah is asking if there are any shows in Indianapolis. I don't know of any. Rhonda Barlow is here. Ann Anderson says she's sorting. Francine says, Kevin, thanks for inviting us into your space. It was beautiful. I'm still trying to organize. And Peggy O'Connor says, have fun in Paducah, T. Yes, Peggy, thank you. For those that don't know, I'll be in Paducah next week, next Wednesday through Saturday. If you see me, stop and say hello. I would love to see you. We'll take a ussie instead of a selfie. We'll take an ussie. Bonita says, ATL is close. If there is a show going on, we'll like to hear. Okay. And then Kathy says, yes, Kevin, thank you for showing your space. So it is exactly 8 p.m. And it is exactly time for me to go eat dinner because I only ate like a bowl of cereal today. And maybe like a snack bag of chips or something. But been busy moving around doing stuff. And then I had to make this shirt. You know, I couldn't feed myself. I had to make a new shirt to come on live. So, yes. So thank you all so much for participating. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. I really appreciate it. And I will see you hopefully next Wednesday. Now, the quilt show goes to either 5 or 6 o'clock, and then we're probably going to end up going out to eat. So if I'm on live next Wednesday, it will definitely be later than 7 p.m. So keep that in mind. It will work very well for California people. But I will see you all next week. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye. I know some of you all are still posting here. And then Sharifia is saying she can ask one of her old quilt buddies about the quilt show in Atlanta. Thank you. Please do that and let me know, and I'll try to do some Googling as well for both of those